Okay, people, so we're back. As we return, I want to remind you about Seth Wiles Holistic Health Clinic because he's coming up right now. And, of course, this is a health clinic powered by nutritional therapy. Don't manage a disease because you have the opportunity to reverse it naturally. And you could do so drug-free, supplement-free, root cause healing through nutritional therapy. And you can call or WhatsApp 279-3935 or 761-1952 for more details and to get yourself a consultation with Seth, so you can book that appointment today and rebuild your health from the inside out naturally. Seth is with us this morning, and for the next 10 minutes, we're going to be talking about why you do not understand nutrition. Morning, Seth.
Good morning, Stephen. Synergy TV and all of our viewers, both internationally, regionally, and locally. All right? So, why people don't understand nutrition.
Well,
and
first off,
thanks
to the copy of the book.
No problem.
Before you get into the topic, the book is out. You are not sick, you are malnourished. It is a brilliant read. I have started the book. How many chapters you got in here?
17.
How much?
17 chapters.
17. Right.
Yeah,
but
17.
I have gone through the first 2 chapters. I'll start in chapter 3 today. But I have to say, what I read so far, as you get into why most people don't understand nutrition, I get into that. One of the things that I read about there that shocked me was fructose, and how fructose it gets past insulin.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it sneaks past. It travels through your body under radar. So you don't have that insulin release.
Response. So a lot of people think it's a better form of sugar with regards to regulating diabetes.
Right.
So they think if I consume fructose, I don't get this insulin spike, so I'm not getting this high sugar, but it increases, which is a topic I did before, which is glycation. So your HbA1c levels is going to increase.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the reasons for me writing this book is because a lot of people are, they might make superficial assumptions on me, not understanding the extent of knowledge I have on biology and nutrition. So this book is going to show you that this man is not talking by guess.
Yeah.
And everything. If you go to the reference section, you're going to see a lot of scientific references based off of the highest degrees of studies. All right? Just to ensure that people realize and they could go and compare and see where my knowledge or information is coming from. It is not guesswork. It is not opinion-based. It is fact-based. So that's why I've wrote this book. And I've been told years now to write a book, Years.
Right.
Right? But, you can't do stuff before it's actual time.
Exactly.
You have to wait until you're actually ready. Right? And I believe I was ready at this point in time to release this book. And it is the only book in the world that has gone into that level and that depth of information to uncover and unfold and to show people the actual root causes of diseases. Because a lot of people don't have that understanding of diseases. They think diseases are random, right? People think diseases are random. There is no such thing as random illness. Not because you don't know what caused your illness, mean it is random.
Yeah.
All illnesses, all diseases have a cause, right? And this is a brilliant opportunity that people are getting here to educate and expand their knowledge base with regards to nutrition. And this is something, and you said you have chapter 3 to read? Chapter 3 is going to show you why most people don't have that information that is in the book. That's what chapter 3 is about. Because that's going to go into the history of it. Right? Yeah. So, really interesting read. Now, what inspired this segment this morning was because last week I got a phone call from someone. And this person called out of genuine curiosity. And they calling because they want to know how I can say I can reverse nerve damage through nutrition. And they're like, how could nutrition fix nerve damage? And as baffled as they were, right, in asking that question, because that confused them, I was baffled as to how people don't know nutrition can fix nerve damage or can fix the entire body. So that just let me realize a lot of people do not know what's the purpose of eating. People, if you ask most people, people eat for energy.
They eat because you're hungry.
That's basically it. You eat because you're hungry for energy. And most people actually eat for entertainment. Right?
Yeah.
People don't quite understand. Eating is not just about calories. Calories is a unit of measuring energy, for those that didn't know. So unit of measuring energy, right?
Right.
You don't eat just for energy. You eat for nutrients. Your entire body is created from the things that you consume.
Right.
To maintain your health, you have to eat the nutrients that makes up the parts of the body. The main things that make up your body are amino acids, being the main thing, right? Then you have fats,
Right.
all right? You have minerals, and you have sugars. These are the main things that make up your body.
Right.
Now, the things that we have to consume is the things that we have demonized, and the things that we have no need to consume is the things that people make the biggest part of their diet because of the addictive effect, which is the sugar aspect. But I go more in depth into that, into the book, because I don't want to give people a piece of information and they don't have the whole information and then they run in the wrong direction. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah, the first
go ahead.
The first two chapters was really going into to sugar and the different types of sugar and things like that. Was
correct. Because people need to understand it, and people do not understand what sugar is. And that is not by coincidence. That was deliberately orchestrated. And as I say, heading into chapter 3, and you're going to see how that was deliberately orchestrated. And it has the backing, the information to show what happened historically that changed our mindset and have made us dependent on something that we have no need to be dependent on. Right? So people are out here consuming stuff for entertainment and energy, not understanding it's supposed to be nutritional. And we are failing in that aspect as well, because even energetically, people are always hungry. Stefan, I usually eat once a day sometimes. I will eat once every 36 hours.
Yeah,
and this is not me. This is not me deliberately fasting, you know. Had a time I ate Thursday, and the next time I remembered to eat was Sunday, right? And I totally forget, right? I totally forget, because how I eat, my body is nutritionally efficient. So I get absorption of all the nutrients that my body needs. I'm 181 pounds. Okay. So I'm not underweight, I'm not skinny. If people see my my pictures of how my physique actually look, how much of you all doctors could have that physique? And what I tell people is that I'm a very lazy person. Right? When I say lazy, me going, look, I started back the gym after 5 months. I made 5 days, and then I take a week break, right? But if you see my physique, right? If you see my physique, you would never think I am that lackadaisical when it comes to exercise.
It's important to while you talk about your physique now, it's important for people to understand what your physique was before.
Right.
Because you didn't always used to look like this.
Exactly. So, I mean, back so a couple of years back, I used to be overweight, right? I used to have joint issues. I used to be asthmatic. I used to have allergies. All of those things changed within 3 months of me understanding nutrition. Right? When you understand nutrition, you make the changes, you understand root causes of diseases, you are able to transform yourself. We have seen even one of the gentlemen who did a testimonial video, and it's up on my website as well, and how much weight he lost without exercise, right? I'm not at no point bashing exercise, no. But if you notice, the focus today is more on exercise over nutrition, right? And
Correct.
that is being pushed.
Yeah.
And that is deliberately done, because if more people focus on exercise, then they could think that I can out-exercise my bad diet. In fact, many people think the diet good. A lot of people have come to me saying they eat healthy, and my question would always be, why are you sick then? If eating healthy, why are you sick? Right? You shouldn't be sick if your diet is ideal, and it isn't.
Yeah.
All right? So, but the exercise aspect of things is pushed because that is a distraction. It's a distraction to take people away from focusing on nutrition. Nutrition is the most important thing in your life. And yes, I put nutrition above religion, because if you're dead, you can't worship. Right? If you're dead, you can't worship.
Well, let's say
If you're
health.
nutritionally deficient and your brain not functioning right, you can't even be in the correct mental state to even know how to pray.
Well,
right? And we need to understand that.
The first thing is health. Health is the first thing.
Of course. Of course.
You know what I mean? You got to be healthy in order to function.
Correct.
There is one, as you talk about nutrition, and I don't want us to run out of time, I didn't mention this. You mentioned in the first 2 chapters here that I read, breast milk. Now, the reason why I raise it in this conversation about nutrition and people not understanding nutrition is that you mentioned that breast milk cannot be replaced with formula.
Correct. Correct. And all the studies show that as well.
So from the time you start giving a child, a baby, formula, you have already
altered
or contaminated the child's system.
Correct.
From birth.
Correct. There's no formula in nature.
Huh?
It have no formula in nature.
It have no formula?
In nature.
No, it have no formula in nature.
None. But we have gotten dependent on something that is totally unnatural and can't even replicate breast milk. And we are feeding that to children. What parents need to do is they need to ensure that they are healthy so their breast milk can't be contaminated.
Right.
For example, the very same thing, fructose, naturally is not found in breast milk. But do you know today, because of what parents are consuming, there is now fructose in breast milk? Because of what the mother is consuming?
Okay.
And this is something totally unnatural.
Right.
Biologically, that is not supposed to happen.
Right.
So children are being contaminated because the parents are not eating correctly.
Wow.
Right? And a couple of years ago, I did that segment with regards to Down syndrome, showing what actually truly triggers that is when the father is consuming alcohol. Right? So it damages his sperm, and then that causes the child to end up with some physical and mental disorders. Right? We need to be very, very conscious with regards to what we consume, and that's where the problem is.
Outside of that too, while we're talking about the breast milk, you also mentioned in the first 2 chapters, you might have to help me remember here because I wouldn't know it like you, but right, you mentioned that the breast milk itself, right? All right. This is it here. From birth, the story is different. In infancy, nature provided a food that is not only nourishment but design. Breast milk is the first and perfect fuel for human life. And unlike any other food, it does not provoke a strong hydrochloric acid response in the stomach. At first, this may seem like a weakness, but it is brilliance. The absence of acid at this stage is protection.
Correct.
And then you go on to say that breast milk carries living bacteria and complex sugars called
oligosaccharides.
Oligosaccharides, right.
Yeah.
And immune factors designed not simply to feed the child, but to seed and establish the gut microbiome.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And
right.
You mentioned the lack of the acid, and that this is not, it's not a bad thing. The same way that I
Correct,
think you
correct.
mentioned.
Only breast milk. Breast milk is the only thing, when consumed, does not trigger a hydrochloric acid response in the stomach.
In the stomach.
In order to protect the bacteria in the breast milk so that it can seed the microbiome in the colon. Because if the hydrochloric acid response is released in the stomach when breast milk comes in, it would kill the bacteria, and therefore you have no microbiome in your gut. So therefore you're not going to get your vitamin B's and so forth.
Right.
So that means problems.
Right. And from that is problem from an age where you are now in the growing stage or the building stage
Correct.
of the entire
important stage of the life.
Yeah, the entire system.
Stage.
Your entire system, is going through a stage of development, early development, in order to, and that early development takes you, into further development as you grow and you age.
Correct. Because that seeding is to last lifelong.
Right. Now you also mentioned, as we're talking about nutrition, because people think that milk is a big part of nutrition. However, you do mention that milk is not needed past the age of 2 years old.
Correct.
And you also said something, it was that, okay, you mentioned lactose intolerant, but that's not necessarily a problem as much as being lactose persistent.
Lactose persistent. Correct.
Yes.
So the abnormal people are people that that body is producing the lactate enzyme after the age of 2.
Okay.
Right? So those are the weird ones, people that can actually digest milk without any problems. They are the weird ones. So it's still going to cause some problems in their system. The problems are not the same as somebody that is lactose intolerant. But being lactose intolerant is actually normal. That is normal and natural.
Yes, you said that's a normal thing.
Yeah, that's a normal thing. Right? So these are a lot of things that people don't know, and that's why I'm encouraging people to get the book. It is not what they think. A lot of people assume they're going to know what my book contains.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
I
right?
did not.
That part with regards to the hydrochloric acid, how I came up with that. Now, I would do random studies and research. I came across research from in the early 1900s, early, where they did, back then they don't do experiments like this anymore, where they would feed children and then pump their stomach to see what was released and stuff in their stomach. It is classed as unethical now. Back then when the scientists saw that there was no hydrochloric acid response to breast milk, they didn't know what purpose that served. So it was a study done, and it's like, okay, this is happening, we don't really know how it really applied. And that's why when I saw that, I was like, it clicked. That's exactly why what I put in the book there, why that happened. So back then they didn't really know why there is no hydrochloric acid response to breast milk. But then I come along now and realize this is exactly why there is no hydrochloric acid response to it.
All right.
Right? So a lot of the information in this book is very unique.
Yeah.
Very unique. You're not going to find it anywhere else. And that's why I tell people they need to get it. They need to get it. It's not a pushover book.
No, I would tell people to get the book because I'm telling you, from what I've read so far, and we almost all the time. I see we done gone over the time already, but from what I've read so far, it is. I did not know that one of the sugars, because said goes in, and from the word go, sugar is the, because we always say sugar is the root cause of problems, disease, and that kind of thing. But in the book here, right, you talk about disaccharides, right?
Yeah.
Which is the sugars of milk, heat, and plants. No, I would not have thought that a plant has sugar. Right? Because, I mean, people go on diets and eat a salad and, you know.
Yep, like I said, we go in that book, break down the science, and I word it in a simple manner that everybody can understand. Right?
It's
so
a very interesting
things that are complex, and I break it down nicely so people would truly understand it. But like I said, when you go into chapter 3, that's when you're going to understand why most people don't know about these things, why schools don't teach it. It goes into all of that in chapter 3.
Yeah.
right? Because you would see it's a big, I would say it's a big conspiracy because the person behind it became the richest person in the world.
Okay.
Right? Because sickness is a business.
And well, as we wrap up with set here, because we got to get to the break, come back and close. But I must say, you said that exercise is now. I mean, I do my exercise. It makes me feel good. The body feels good to be active. But anybody that goes to the gym to lose weight, your instructor will tell you that for you to lose weight, they usually break it down to 70% diet, 30% exercise.
Right. The only issue
there's
is
a reason for that.
Yeah, but the only issue is their goal with diet is focused on weight loss, and I've seen it many, many times where people get the weight loss, but it put their health at more risk.
Okay.
Because you could diet for weight loss, but that doesn't mean you're improving your health. You might lose weight, but it doesn't mean your health is improving. People need to know how to lose weight correctly. And in a healthy manner. You don't want to lose weight and then end up in a worse situation. As you know, since the exercise boom of 1990, right, no diseases has declined. Yeah. More and more people exercising, more gyms and stuff popping up all over the places, but diseases continue to escalate. Yeah. So we see that the impact of gym, all it did is create fitter, sick people. Because fitness and health are two totally different things.
Totally
you can be fit and very sick. Yes, we have more fit, sick people, right? And that is going to mass sickness. So when they uncover that they are unhealthy, it's usually too late.
Yeah. And of course, right? As we wrap up here, let's not forget that certain things have increased since the pandemic. Strokes, heart attacks. I mean, we won't go into that.
Yes.
But that has definitely occurred. But Seth, thanks a lot, people. I want you to get this book. I want you to take a read. If you do anything for the rest of the year, purchase the book, read this book. After 2 chapters, I am very intrigued. There is a lot of information in here that will cause you to open your eye. It's like Seth says, during his consultations, it is a re-education. This puts you on the path to being re-educated. And even if you just approach it, objectively, right? And then judge it by what you have read. Because we know that people have been trained to believe certain things and have certain information for a very long period of time. So when you read this book, you might still be a doubter, but I have a feeling that it's going to open your eyes to a few things that, you're going to question certain things. All right? And he does actually pose some questions in the book. Ask yourself this, if so, and it makes you think. So, I'm telling you, it's a good read, great read.
Yes, so I think almost every chapter have a reflection prompt at the end.
Yes, a reflection prompt, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
All right, so people, you can contact Seth to find out more, to book your appointment, to get started with him on 279-3935 or 761-1952, and you'll find out about the book as well. The book in stores yet?
Not yet, but it's on Amazon for all of our international viewers. It is available on Amazon for everyone outside of Trinidad. Anyone locally can buy it directly from me, and delivery is available as well. Okay. But that's for Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, so it is on Amazon. Go check it out if you're living outside of TNT. If you're in TNT, call Seth. Delivery is available. Seth, thanks a lot, man.
All right, then. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Good, terrific read.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. So I'll tell you what, we take the final break, people. When we come back